Thank you. Okay, we're back on the record. Calling case number 210-56527, People State of Michigan versus Jean Paul Guerrero. Counsel, on behalf of Mr. Guerrero, if you would, your P number for the record, your name and P number for the record.
Jeffrey S. Hall, P48613.
Okay, and also we have someone here on behalf of the people. Your name and P number for the record, please, ma'am.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Jane Gillis, P46131.
Okay, and as to Mr. Guerrero, you waiving the formal reading and standing your client mute?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, quote with the formal reading and turn I justify on your client's behalf. Folks, because we have the people here, presumably they want to weigh in on bond. So tell you what, before we set dates, please let's jump to our bond argument. Counsel, on behalf of Mr. Guerrero, your bond argument, sir.
I would indicate that as soon as my client became aware that there was a potential warrant out for his arrest, he contacted my office. I immediately made arrangements to have him processed and arraign him as soon as possible. I would indicate that he's 21 years old. He has no prior record. He's a lifelong resident of Detroit. He's college educated. This is a
I'm sorry, if you speak up, that we lost some of your audio. If you can just keep your voice up a bit. What was the last part of what you just last said, sir?
I would indicate that I'm not sure where I cut out. My client is full-time employed. He works for Rocket Auto. He is no flight risk. Obviously, he is appearing with the counsel today. Given the fact that this is his first offense, I would ask for a personal bond.
Okay, thank you. And on behalf of the people, please.
On behalf of the people, Your Honor, I'm asking for a higher cash bond, tether monitoring device, and a turnover of passport if he has one. Seems to be that he has a lot of available cash. His retained attorney had a car accident, was driving a Tesla. I'm just worried about flight. I understand from the detective that he has contacts out of the country. That's why I'm asking for the passport to be handed into the court, and I'm asking for the high cash bond. I also anticipate that there will be more charges once we get the blood results back.
Okay, so noted.
There's no indication at this time that there's any alcohol or drugs involved, or there would be a different charge. They are able to get a blood letter for any POTS report from the hospital where my client was. He will turn over his passport. Based upon the fact that this is a 5-year felony, the fact that he retained attorney is not a fact that should be considered by the court in setting a bond. There's nothing in the record that my client is a flight risk. He will turn over his passport. He should get a personal bond based upon the bond factors as established in Rule 6.106.
And Madam Prosecutor, again, on counsel, you indicated ties out of, you said, is it out of the country, out of state?
Out of the country. That's just based on what the detective Alston Brown said to me. And I would say, as far as the alcohol is concerned, he indicated to the officers at the scene that he drank 2 glasses of tequila and smelled of alcohol. So I think there's alcohol involved.
All right. Okay. And Madam Prosecutor, just to clarify, you did express a concern with regard to flight risk, and counsel, on behalf of Mr. Guerrero, didn't seem to have an objection or concern about passports. So we are going to make arrangements for that. So just for clarification, in the event that the court were to impose that, as far as turning over a passport, would that be to your office, or where would be the proper agency or entity to which they would address that passport issue?
I think it's typically, you know what, I don't even know. I've had so few cases like that, but I think it's typically turned over to the court.
I don't think the court holds on to paperwork. Like, we don't hold on to documents, licenses, or anything like that. So I don't think it's going to be to the court.
I can facilitate getting the passport to the officer in charge, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I can do that today.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Madam Prosecutor, anything further?
No, that's it, Your Honor.
As far as, okay, and counsel, on behalf of Mr. Guerrero, anything further before the court sets dates as well as bond?
No, Your Honor.
All right, here's what the court is going to do. The court has taken into account all factors. We're going to jump ahead slightly to the bond, which also has a bearing on the dates. Be advised, and let the record reflect, there's going to be a Zoom probable cause conference March 29, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date April 5, 2021 at 9 a.m. to 36th District Court, and it will be in front of Judge Archer. Counsel, on behalf of both Mr. Guerrero and on behalf of the people, the court is taking into account bond arguments on both sides. The court is also taking into account, under the criteria the court sets under Michigan court rules, as it relates to bond, not only the nature of the charges and the seriousness of the allegations, but also ensuring that all parties are present for each stage of the proceedings while the case is pending. And in the instant case, this court is balancing representations made by Mr. Guerrero's counsel with regard to significant family and residential ties, as well as gainful employment in the community, as well as arguments on behalf of the people with regard to ensuring that Mr. Guerrero returns to court for each stage of the proceedings, and to ensure, in the people's concern, that Mr. Guerrero may be a flight risk. The court is going to do the following. Court is going to set bond in the amount of $2,000, 10%. Also, Mr. Guerrero will be subject to Wayne County Sheriff's GPS tether. Also, while this case is pending, Mr. Guerrero will turn over his passport to the officer in charge, and per counsel's, Mr. Guerrero's counsel, for his representations, he'll have an opportunity to facilitate turning over that passport. Again, the purpose of this is to ensure that Mr. Guerrero returns to court for each stage of the proceedings. And it also goes without saying that Mr. Guerrero is not to leave the state of Michigan or the country without permission from the court. And Madam Prosecutor, is there anything further on behalf of the people?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and on behalf of Mr. Guerrero, counsel, is there anything further?
I just need to know where you want him to report and what time frame for the tether.
Okay, so noted. You can coordinate with the DDC. I think it's through the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, through the Wayne County Sheriff's Department. They have a tether unit. Or, Madam Prosecutor, do you happen to have any information you can provide to us at this time so that they can facilitate arrangements for that tether?
No, I know the Sheriff's Department does it out of one of the jails. I'm not sure which division. He'll have to inquire which division you go and get it set up.
Okay, thank you. And also let the record reflect that per the Michigan court rules, bond is subject to review at any time. So if any party has a concern about bond or conditions of bond, then there is an opportunity for either party to address any of those concerns at any time between now and the next court dates. Is there anything further?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, Madam Prosecutor. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
concluded. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right. Okay. Stand by. Okay. For breakout rooms. You're still in the breakout room. Okay, stand by. Let's see if I can get some two. Okay, stand by, folks. Okay, at the DDC right now, your name, sir, in front of the camera?
Stephen Battle.
Thank you. Stand by, sir. Okay, counsel, everybody on Battle? Okay, thank you. Calling case number 2004462, People State of Michigan versus Stephen Battle, also known as Stephen Alexander Battle. Counsel, your appearance to the record, please.
on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Bell, who is co-leading understands the constitutional rights of stand.
Co-waive the formal reading into not guilty plea on your client's behalf. One thing before we get to dates, counsel, I'll let the record reflect that on January 24, 2020, you, Mr. Battle, failed to appear for a pretrial, at which time Judge King on that case said that established the capias and set bond the amount of $1,000 cash surety. Has your office been able to contact Judge King's courtroom regarding that bond?
Your Honor, since this is charged as a misdemeanor and is going to be in front of Judge Bryant, it is my understanding that the court.
Judge Bryant, yes.
Doesn't have authority.
Thank you. Here's what we're going to do, counsel. Yes, counsel, thank you for pointing that out. It is the case that this has since been assigned to Judge Bryant, and she has given this court brought authorization to use this discretion, stand by, with regard to bonding conditions of bond. So the court is prepared to set aside that bond. Has your client indicated any reason why he has failed to appear for court?
Your Honor, this incident appears to be from 2020. Your Honor, he was honest with us saying, you know, he's not sure why he's going to try to come up with an excuse or make anything up. No, he just said, you know, I wasn't aware, not sure if he didn't get it. I will say that he does live with his wife. He has a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old. He does have the community ties, Your Honor. The high school graduate is working. He has no issues with returning to court to indicate that to us. He knows how to use this. He does have the Zoom app, Your Honor. So I'm asking the court to respectfully give him a chance, Your Honor.
Thank you. Did you see his bonds or any holds, ma'am?
He has holds, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, counsel. Here's what we're going to do. Your client needs to come to court. I mean, this is not the most serious case in the world, but the thing is, given the type of charge, this could have been in his rearview mirror by now. And he needs to show up and follow through until the judge tells him that he's done. So here's what the court is going to do. The court is going to set bond in the amount of $2,000 personal bond. He's also going to be subject to Wayne County Sheriff's GPS tether. Is there anything further?
Your Honor, what was the court date?
This court date is going to be April 29, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court in front of Judge Bryant. Is there anything further?
Your Honor, I would respectfully ask the court, if possible, maybe give him a very high personal bond in lieu of the GPS tether, given the nature of the charge. I do understand the court's concern about him not returning to court, Your Honor, but if he has a very high personal bond, he understands the consequences of that. So I would just respectfully ask for that.
Well, counsel, it appears that your client does not take this seriously enough. And again, it's not the most serious case in the world. It is not assaulted. But the thing is, in addition to the fact that your client has other holds in other jurisdictions, that means that he's not making his cases a priority. So this case needs to be a priority because, again, had he shown up on his first court date, this will probably be in his rearview mirror by now. The case itself is a 1-year misdemeanor, and he needs to show up. So at this time, bond is subject to review at any time, but at this time, this is the court's determination. Is there anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
Stand on the black line.
Okay, I think we're going to be able to open up a room in just a moment. Stand by. Hi, your name, sir?
Alan Nichols.
Okay, thank you, sir. You have a couple of matters that we're going to be addressing at this time. First of which is case number 2104434, people of Michigan versus Alan Renard Nichols, aka Alan Renard Nichols, aka Alan Nichols, aka Alan Bernard Nichols. Counsel.
Justice Chicago, on behalf of the defendant, Nichols, who is formal reading of the Constitutional rights of the
Full waive the formal reading and not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Court is also going to call a second case.
Judge, we are back from the breakout room with the
Okay.
defendant MD.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Stand by. Calling case number 1504577, Michigan versus Alan Renard Nichols. Counsel.
Just check on behalf of Senator Nichols, Ms. Reading understands constitutional right to stand.
Okay, call away the formal reading, enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Stand by. Okay. Counsel, court with the formal reading, enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to that second case. Let the record reflect that on March 18, 2019, your client failed to appear for a review in front of Judge Lanice Bryant, or that Lanice Bryant, and at which time bond was, papers was issued, bonds had $15,000 cash surety. That's as to the older case, and your client has a newer case for an alleged event from September of 2020. Let the record reflect the court is going to set a Zoom pretrial date and or review date for April 19, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to Thursday District Court in front of Judge Garrett. And as to bond counsel.
Your Honor, 38 years old, lifelong resident of Detroit, is employed as a delivery driver. Is his job for, does suffer from asthma. Your Honor, does live with the mother of his children, understands the no contact order, they do not reside together, and it's my understanding that this case is going to be in front of Judge Garrett going forward, Your Honor. So I do understand that the court has the authority to change it to a personal bond if found fit. Your Honor, he said he didn't know he had court. So I'm respectful asking the court to consider it.
All right, thank you. DDC's bond, are there any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, counsel, here's what the court is going to do. The court has a concern that although a note of the files indicates that these are allegations of an assault of nature within the context of a domestic dynamic, they do not involve the same complaining witness. However, your client must have known or had reason to believe that he had at least one matter outstanding where it was under review, meaning that he had already either pled or been found guilty and essentially was under supervision from a court, and it appears that no judge told him that he was done with that case. So at some point, your client was aware that at least as to the 2015 case, he knew he had court or had reason to believe that his matters were not finished. So here's what the court is going to do. Given that these are matters set in front of Judge Austin Garrett, here's what the court is going to do. As to the case in which your client failed to appear for review, court is going to set a $15,000 personal bond. However, your client is going to be subject to Wayne County Sheriff's GPS tether. And no contact with the complaining witness on that case, whose name is, stand by. No contact with complaining witness Maya Hill. No contact means no written or verbal communication with this person. No messages to her through third parties. And no contact order also extends to her place of residence and place of employment, and no social media contacts directly or indirectly. As to case number 210-44344, there is also a pretrial date set for April 19, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to Thursday District Court, also in front of Judge Austin Garrett. This court is going to set bond in the amount of $7,500 personal bond, and no contact with the complaining witness Gabrielle Marie Jackson. No contact means no written or verbal communication with this person. No messages to her through third parties. The no contact order also extends to her place of residence and place of employment, and no social media contacts directly or indirectly. Is there anything further? Okay, thank you. You're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
My co-counsel is telling me that it appears that Division 1 and my co-counsel are in a breakout room, but DD2 might be in there too, so it's not confidential.
Okay, stand by. Let's see.
If I should also just get a quick copy of the complaint.
Okay, in which case, given a moment, I think we have removed them, so just verify with counsel, with Madam Counsel, that there's two people, herself and D1 in the room. I think I've been able to remove the other room.
And then, Your Honor, can I grant grab, the complaint from the city file because the fax forgot to give it to us and we're unable to have all.
These two here.
You can approach.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, all right. Hi, your name, sir, gentleman with the Rockaware?
Maurice Chapman.
Okay, stand by, sir. Okay, Mr. Chapman, you have 2 files. Stand by, sir.
So I got a few charges.
Okay, Mr. Chapman, before we get to your case with the attorney present, we do have some traffic misdemeanors that we're going to cover. We're going to set aside the warrant on those cases, get you a new court date. Also, when you do attend your court date on the traffic misdemeanor matters, you're going to receive instructions where you're going to be joining them by Zoom, which is you're going to receive paperwork on how to join, which is the video teleconferencing technology that we're using today. You're going to receive information on how to dial in for your next court date on the traffic misdemeanors. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, calling you, ticket 229-77215, People State of Michigan versus Maurice Kanye Deshaun Chapman. So you are charged on this ticket with smoking at the gas station. Mr. Court date is going to be a personal bond, no dollar amount listed. The ticket is a misdemeanor. The penalty that you could receive is 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. Do you understand the charge that was read and the penalty that you could receive on the ticket?
Yes, that's the only charges I have?
No.
No, sir, you have other matters pending, but as to this particular case, do you understand the charge that was read and the penalty that you could receive on this ticket? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, Court will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. There's going to be a Zoom pretrial date set for April 22nd, 2021 at 9 a.m. to Thursday District Court. And it will be in front of Judge Hennett Johnson. With any criminal matter, sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You also have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one on your own, the court will appoint one for you at public expense. Do you understand these rights, sir?
Yes. So I owe $500?
And at this time, sir, no. The penalty that you could receive is 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
All right, sir, moving on, you have some other matters that we're going to cover at this time. Calling case number 100-60249, People State of Michigan versus Maurice Deshaun Chapman. Counsel, your appearance, please.
Just Chair, on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Chapman, who is formal reading understands the constitutional rights.
For with the formal reading into not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Also calling case number 1604436, People State of Michigan versus Maurice Deshaun Chapman. Counsel.
Just Chair, on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Chapman, who is formal reading understands the constitutional rights.
For with the formal reading into not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Stand by, please. As to both cases, there's going to be a Zoom pretrial date set for April 29, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to Thursday District Court, and both matters will be in front of Judge Bryant and as the bond counsel.
Your Honor, 29 years old, Lifelong resident of Detroit, is employed at Fast Flash Car Wash and KJN Car Wash. He is planning on seeking his GED in April, not on probation or parole. Provided us with family contact information, his grandmother's information as well. I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a personal bond, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. DDC, as the bond, are there any holds?
No, Your Honor.
That's it.
All right, stand by. All right, counsel, let the record reflect that as to the case 100-60249, your client missed a pretrial date at which time a capus was issued and bonds in the amount of $5,000 cash surety. Considering your client's considerable long-term ties to the community, why did he fail to appear?
Your Honor, for the record, Mr. We were made aware of Mr. Chapman. 2016 marriage and not marriage.
So noted. All right, counsel, here's the thing. Let the record reflect that on October 4, 2012, your client failed to appear for a pretrial at which time a capus was issued and bonds in the amount of $5,000 cash surety. So again, considering your client has significant ties to the community, he isn't showing up for his court dates because he also has outstanding traffic tickets. He just doesn't come to court. I mean, you're welcome to address that and make sure that he understands that he needs to show up for all of his court dates. Otherwise, because these are older matters, every single one of these cases could have been in his rearview mirror had he just shown up to court.
And we did, Your Honor. I spoke to Mr. Chapman during the interview, and we made sure that he understood and knows that in order to fight any of these cases or beat any of these cases, Your Honor, or put them behind him, he has to make it to all of his court dates, whether it's Zoom or in person, which we discussed and he understood, and he wants to take care of all of these. He has his stable job, he's trying to finish school, Your Honor, so, and he does have his grandmother's support, and she wants him to take care of all of these matters as well. So we had that conversation, and Mr. Chapman, I hope you heard the court right now, and he also understands what happens if he will miss his court date. He understands that he will get locked up, and he will lose his bond, Your Honor. So I'm respectfully asking the court to give him a chance, Your Honor, in that, for a personal.
Thank you. All right, counsel, here's what the court is going to do, and the court appreciates you addressing those matters proactively, and that your office has addressed with him that he needs to show up for court, and he needs to keep going back until the judge tells him that he's done with these matters. Otherwise, he's going to serve himself an inconvenience because he's going to school, he's working, he has all these ties to the community. He loses all that, he blows it, he creates a great disruption for himself in terms of going to school and being able to make it to work in a timely manner if he keeps getting picked up on these old cases. It's as simple as that. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you care about all of these things, that being able to go to work and go to school and not be interrupted, you need to show up to court. Otherwise, you're going to get picked up.
All right. You got my
Because
word on that.
counterintuitive. Here's the thing, sir. You're not making any sense to yourself or anybody else if you say you want to come to court, but then you don't show up. You've got all these good things going for you, and then you mess it up for yourself when you get picked up because you miss court. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes, I got you. I got you.
All
I
right,
will pay
counsel,
my
as the case number 160443262, court is going to set bond in the amount of $5,000 personal bond.
Yes, sir.
Also, as to case number 100602491, court is going to set bond in the amount of $7,500 personal bond. Counsel, is there anything further? Counsel, is there anything further? Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
Judge, can you do MD Mia?
Yes, sir, we're trying to get through on that. Hang on. Yes?
Is camera 2 still showing up on your screen, because we're trying to get back on.
You're trying, no, we're not seeing camera 2. I see Division 1 in breakout room. I see Counsel Reason over in breakout room 1. I do not see a camera 2 trying to get in. Do you need me to dial in for camera 2?
No, I just wanted to make sure we didn't have it stuck in the breakout room because we were trying to dial.
No, ma'am, I don't think so. Okay, stand by. Do we have, okay, DDC, do we have Mr. Mia available? Because we have the interpreter ready. Thank you, ma'am. And Mr. Zaman, what language will you be interpreting for Mr. Mia, sir?
Judge, Bangla, Bengla, Bangla.
BNGLAH?
Bangla, B like boy, ENGLA.
Bangla. Okay, thank you. Is this Mr. Mia, counsel? Or is someone zooming in for Mr. Mia?
That's Mr. Mia.
You're gonna, okay, all right. We're on the record. Mr. Zaman, if you would, sir, we're gonna swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that you will, to the best of your ability, translate from English to Bangla and Bangla to English?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Calling case number 21044.
জাজের কেস যাচ্ছেন 2-10-67-37-901
379.
379
People of the state of Michigan versus MD Mia.
people মানে স্টেট অর মিশিগান ভার্সেস এমডি মিয়া
Counsel, your appearance, please.
Mr. Sharp, on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Mia, who is formal reading, understands his constitutional rights and stands mute.
আমি তার পরিচয় দিয়া কইছেন আমি মিয়ার পক্ষে উকিল মিয়া কিছু হইতো না আজকে
There will be a Zoom pretrial date set for April 19, 2021
এপ্রিলের 19 তারিখ 2021 what time judge
at 8:30 a.m.
সকাল 8:30 সময় আপনার পরবর্তী শুনানির তারিখ
at the 36th District Court
36 ডিস্ট্রিক্ট কোর্ট
in front of Judge Austin Garrett.
অস্টন গ্যারেট জাজ অস্টন গ্যারেটের সামনে আপনারে লইব এপ্রিলের 19 তারিখ 2021 সকাল 8:30 সময়
Okay, counsel has the bond.
বন্ডর কথা
Client is 31 years old. He has a 2-year-old child.
আর একটি ছোট বয়স দুই
Is a
বছরের
factory
বাচ্চা আছে
worker. He, Your Honor, understands the no contact order and does have an alternative place to stay.
তারিনো যাওয়ার কথা নাই গরো যাইতে পারতো না অন্য জায়গা থাকতে হইব ব্যবস্থা করিয়া
To my knowledge, he is not on probation or parole and does not have any priors.
এর আগে আর কোনো নজরদারি বা কোনো আপনার জামিনে আসে না অন্য কোনো কেস আর তার অতীত নাই
So I'm respectfully asking the court to consider it personal bond.
মহামান্য আদালতের কাছে আমরা দরখাস্ত করবো তারে পার্সোনাল বন্ড অর্থাৎ কোনো পয়সা ছাড়া তারা জামিনে মুক্তি দেওয়ার লাগে
DDC has the bond. Are there any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
তার আর কোনো ইয়ে আসেনি জামিনে আসেনি তাই বলছে না
Okay, thank you, counsel. Court takes into account your representations.
কোর্টে এগুর আদালতে তার এগু নজরও আনছে
Because under the Michigan court rules, your client has significant family and residential ties,
যেহেতু দেখা গেছে যে মক্কেলর আপনার কথা তার ফ্যামিলির লগে খুব ভালো সম্পর্ক আছিল
including gainful employment.
খামখাজও হে করে
Court is also taking into account that he will have another place to stay while this case is pending.
আদালত এটা অলসো অবগত আছেন যে হে কেস শেষ না হওয়া পর্যন্ত অন্য কোনো জায়গা থাকবো ইনো আর যাইতো নাই
And the court is also taking into account the pandemic facing the nation.
এবং আদালতে এখন যে প্যান্ডামিক আসতা দুনিয়ায় প্যান্ডামিক এটা নজরও আনিয়া মাতিলাম
For those reasons, court will set bond, $5,000 personal bond,
তা ওগু হলতা নজর রাখিয়া $5,000 পার্সোনাল বন্ড just 5,000 personal bond is said
and no contact with the complaining witness, Shofina Begum,
সফিনা বেগমের যে কমপ্লেন করছেন তার লগে যোগাযোগ করতে না $5,000 পার্সোনাল বন্ড দিয়ে আপনারে মুক্তি দেওয়া হইলো অর্থাৎ কোনো কেস নাই খালি পার্সোনাল বন্ড আনা পয়সায়
no contact means no written or verbal communication with this person,
নো কন্টাক্ট মানিয়ে হইলো এই পার্সোনাল লগে আপনার লগে লিখিত প্রত্যক্ষ পরোক্ষ কোনোভাবে কোনো যোগাযোগ করতে হবে তার লিখিত
no contact with her through third parties.
থার্ড পার্টি তৃতীয় পক্ষের মাধ্যমে তার লগে কোনো যোগাযোগ করতে পারত না
The no contact order also extends to her place of residence and place of employment.
আপনার এই নো কন্টাক্ট যে আপনি যোগাযোগ করতে না এগু আপনার হাজর জায়গা তান বাসাত কোনো জায়গাতে আপনি কন্টাক্ট করতে পারত না
And no social media contacts directly or indirectly.
আপনি সরাসরি বা আপনার পরোক্ষভাবে সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ার মাধ্যমে তার লগে কোনো যোগাযোগ করতে পারত না
Okay. Counsel, is there anything further before we discharge the interpreter?
No, take
আর
care.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we are concluded.
আমরা কেস শেষ এখন আপনি
Mr. Mia, you can step away from the camera.
জনাব মিয়া আপনি ক্যামেরাতে ধরে দিতে পারেন আপনারা ছাড়ি দিব
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Zeman. We appreciate your time.
থ্যাংক ইউ Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it. No problem.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Okay, DDC, thank you. Let the record reflect, we still have James White, we have Tyrese Walker, we have Desion Jones. Okay. Madam Counsel, do we have any updates regarding interviews for anybody else?
Yes, Your Honor. Spiller,
What is the name?
Spiller, number 5 on the second page.
Spiller. Do we
And
have?
we already on Pittman, at Division 1.
Okay, you said you had Coyle, correct? We have a file for Coyle. You said Spillman? I don't think we have a file for Spillman.
Spiller,
Spiller?
yeah, he's number 5 on the second page, Hakeem Spiller. Spiller.
Counsel, be advised, we don't, Madam, do we have any other files coming?
Yes.
Okay, we don't have, okay, Madam Counsel, we don't have any other files just yet, so just stick a pin in Spiller. DDC, we do have an update. We do have Otez Coyle ready.
Okay.
And then also, again, it wasn't on our list, but we have a traffic ticket here for Tony Ross.
Okay.
And then we already on Division 1.
Okay, thank you. And I'll close. Madam, at DDC, if it gives you a few minutes, we actually have a file ready at the county, so we can do the county in the meantime, if that works for you.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, Counsel Reasonable, we're ready when you are.
Oh, I'm getting it later.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right. Are we ready on Pittman?
Yes.
We're on the record calling case number 210-56273, People State of Michigan versus Joshua Alonzo Pittman. Counsel, your appearance, please.
Judge, on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Pittman, who waives formal reading, understands the constitutional rights and stands guilty.
Court waive the formal reading, enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There's going to be a Zoom. Probable cause conference date, April 19, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court. Followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date to be determined at the 36th District Court, and it's in front of Judge Archer and Esteban.
Your Honor, Mr. Pittman is 28 years old. He's a lifelong resident of Detroit. Your Honor, he is living with his parents. He lost his house. This incident appears to be from 2020. Your Honor, it's my understanding that his preliminary appeal was adjourned 3 times for the complaining witness to show. And so that's why he never missed any of those court dates, Your Honor. And now he's here on this. It was adjourned. He's really injured, Your Honor. He needs to see a doctor. I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a personal bond. He had a good job. He lost that job because of this, Your Honor. He is a high school grad. You know, he's trying to do everything he can to take care of this matter, Your Honor, but, you know, he's facing consequences, you know, losing his job and all. So he wants to take care of this, get it behind him, Your Honor. This was, Judge King dismissed this case, it's my understanding, on February 27th, 2008, and then it was reissued. So he was doing everything on his end, but I respectfully ask the court to consider a personal bond on this, Your Honor.
Thank you. And County, if you can hear us, are there any holds regarding Mr. Pittman?
None that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. All right, Counsel, court takes and counter representations, and again, this was a reissue. The court does take note of that, but it's up to the prosecutor to bring forward their witnesses and proceed with the case. Otherwise, the people are entitled to bring forward their case, and the court is also balancing with the nature of the charges and the seriousness of the allegations, and there are very serious allegations here. Further, here's what the court will do. Given your representations, including your client's significant ties to the community, the pandemic facing the nation, and which you also outlined were outstanding medical issues, court in this case was set by the amount of $15,000 personal bond. Your client is also going to be subject to Wayne County Sheriff's alcohol tether.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry. He wasn't the driver, according to my client, he wasn't the driver. And he just did at least a speed. So I just want to mention that you didn't mention.
Okay, well, counsel, be advised, counsel, that according to a review of the report, your client was in fact operating the vehicle that was involved in the collision. Now, here's the thing, those are elements, the court appreciates you highlighting that and making that a part of your representations. However, those are elements that need to be borne out at the time of exam.
Correct.
Okay, but just be advised that is a different element to what the court is reviewing in the file. Okay, so, and the court is taking into account, but for whatever reason, your client stands accused of these particular charges. So here's what's going to happen. Your client is going to be subject to Wayne County Sheriff's alcohol tether. Also, while this case is pending, your client is not to consume, possess, purchase, or be under the influence of alcohol or any other intoxicating substances, and certainly no drinking and driving. Is there anything further?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you all for your patience. At this time, we are concluded. Mr. Pittman, thank you for your patience. We'll be forwarding this very shortly.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Okay, gentleman in the red shirt, your name, sir?
Tony Darnell Ross.
Okay, Mr. Ross, you're here on a traffic misdemeanor matter. We're going to cover that as well as your rights and get you a court date on that. Stand by. Okay, calling case number 0517236, People State of Michigan versus Tony Darnell Ross. So you are charged with operating under the influence of combined operating level, under unlawful levels and operating a motor vehicle. Court's going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. There's going to be a Zoom pretrial date, April 29, 2021 at 9 o'clock at the 36th District Court in front of Judge Bryant. With any criminal matter, sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You also have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one on your own, the court will appoint one for you at public expense. Do you understand these rights?
Yes.
All right, at this time, the warrant is set aside. The bond is continued. This is from an alleged matter from 2002. It's an older matter, but it does remain open and pending and does need to run its course. Let me ask you this, sir. Are you working or going to school at this time?
Working, yes.
Well, where do you work, sir, and how long have you been working there?
I work for, how can I say it, a low-profit resale shop.
Okay, and how long have you worked there?
8 years.
Okay, thank you. You receive a paycheck. They take taxes out for the work you do there, sir?
Well, not really, because it's the owner of the apartment I was staying at owns a resale shop.
Right. And for where you live, sir, how long have you lived at that current address?
About 10 years. I don't stay there anymore because it just burned up last month.
All right, here's what we're going to do. You have long-term ties to the community. Court is going to set bond in the amount of $7,500 personal bond. But your next court date is going to be on April 29, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. At 9 a.m. at the 36th District Court in front of Judge Bryant. At this time, the warrant is set aside and the bond is continued. Thank you, sir. Hi, your name, sir?
James Everett, third.
Okay, thank you. Calling case number 2105659, People State of Michigan versus James Edward White. Counsel, your appearance, please.
On behalf of the right to give formal reading, understand the constitutional right to stand.
Call with the formal reading and turn not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There's going to be a Zoom probable cause conference day, March 29, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date to be determined at, Zoom preliminary examination date, April 5, 2021 at 9 o'clock at the 36th District Court in front of Judge Giles and Esteban.
Mr. White is 22 years old. He's been in Detroit for over 7 years. To my knowledge, he has no priors, Your Honor. He is employed with Wayne County Examiner office, Your Honor. He did do some college at Wayne County Community College. He is a high school grad. He lives, alone. He does have some family support and did give us, the contact information. This incident allegedly is from November 2020. Your Honor, I understand it's very serious, however, they are allegations, so I'm respectfully asking the court to keep that, into consideration and asking the court for a very high personal bond, Your Honor, and if not, then a very nominal, bond, Your Honor.
Thank you. Did you see his bond or any holds?
No hold, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel, court takes into account representations, including your client's significant ties to the community. And again, these are allegations. However, they're very serious allegations, which include an allegation of use of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Further, a review of the file suggests that your client and the complainant in this case are known to one another. So that raises a concern about ensuring safety to the community, especially that of the complaining witness while this case is pending. Further, let the review of the file, counsel, just so you're aware, is that relates to the concerns the court considers under the Michigan court rules as to bond to ensure safety to the community, including that of the complaining witness, is that the allegation includes that your client produced a black semi-automatic handgun pointed at the victim's chest and indicated that he would blow out the brains of the complaining witness and demanded her purse, at which time the complainant refused, said, "No, blow me away," at which time your client fled the scene. Again, these are allegations only, but it goes to the points under Michigan court rules to ensure that all parties maintain the integrity of the case, but also to ensure safety to the complaining witness while this case is pending. For those reasons, at this time, court is going to set bond in the amount of $75,000 cash surety, no 10%, no earlier administrative release. Also, while this case is pending, absolutely no contact with the complaining witness, Denise William. No contact means no written or verbal communication with this person, and no contact with her through third parties. The no contact order also extends to her place of employment and place of residence. Is there anything further? It's going to be two court dates, March 29 at 8:30 a.m., followed by preliminary examination date, April 5, 2021 at 9 o'clock, in front of Judge Giles. Anything further? Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
I got another black line, take full name, okay.
Hi, your name, sir?
Tyrese Benito Walker.
Thank you. Calling case number 204549701, people say Michigan versus Tyrese Benito Walker. So you're charged with what? I'm sorry, counsel, are you covering this or are we? Okay, counsel, your appearance, please.
On behalf of Mr. Walker, who is formal reading, understands the constitutional rights and standards.
Court wait the formal reading and not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There's a Zoom pretrial date, April 29, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court in front of, stand by. Counsel, Judge Bryant, knows the bond.
Your Honor, Mr. Walker was never arraigned on this matter. The incident allegedly is from November 2019. He was never arraigned. He turned himself in Saturday morning. He found out about the warrant when he was trying to renew his license, Your Honor. So as soon as he found out about it, he went to turn himself in because he wanted to take care of this matter. So he turned himself in on Saturday, and he was able to be arraigned until this morning, Your Honor. He is a high school grad. He did do almost 2 years of college. He's not on probation or parole. He's a lifelong resident of Michigan. He has a wife, Your Honor, and 3 stepkids in Michigan. So I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a personal bond. He's not, I don't believe he's a flight risk, but he turned himself in, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, and did you see a bond, is a bond with any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel for takes account representations, including that this is an older matter, but it does remain open and pending. Also, your client has very significant family and residential ties to the community, given those elements. Counsel said bond amount of $2,000 personal bond. Is there anything further?
No, thanks, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
You all set.
Come on, chill out. Stand on the black line, face full name, put your mask all the way up, all the way up.
He's all the way up. All the way up. Okay.
Hi, your name, sir?
Yes. Hey, fine. I'll test for you.
Okay, we're on the record calling. Case number 210-566-4627, Michigan versus Ortez Coyle, counsel.
On behalf of the defendant, Mr. Coyle, who is formal reading, understands the constitutional rights and
Quote where the formal reading into tonight gets to clear on your client's behalf is a Zoom probable cause conference date March 30th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. at the 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date April 6th, 2021 at 9 o'clock at the 36th District Court, both in front of Judge Archer and Esteban.
Your Honor, Mr. Coyle is 26 years old. He's a lifelong resident of Michigan. He's employed doing home improvement. He's a high school graduate. He has one child that's 4 years old. He lives with his grandmother. He takes care of his grandmother. She's immobile, Your Honor. He is her caretaker. He has no issue with the no contact order, does not know complaining with him, Your Honor. I'm respectfully asking the court to not remand this and to consider a cash bond, Your Honor, or a 10%.
All right, thank you. Did you see as a bond, are there any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Counsel, court takes into account your representations, including that your client does have ties to the community. The court is also balancing it with the nature of the charges and the seriousness of the allegations. Further, the court is also looking at what are very serious allegations, including an alleged use of a firearm during the commission of this alleged offense. Further, that the complaining witness is under the age of 18, at least at the time of this alleged offense. And the court has concern about ensuring safety of the community in general, including that of the complaining witness, as well as ensuring the integrity of the case while the case is pending, and to ensure that the client does return to court for each stage of the proceedings. The court is also balancing it with the pandemic facing the nation. However, those elements do not outweigh the previous elements considered by this court under the Michigan court rules. Given those elements, given what the court has indicated on the record, court is going to set bond in the amount of $500,000, cash surety, no 10%, no early or administrative release. Also, while this case is pending, your client is to have absolutely no contact with complaining witness Darnell Binder. No contact means no written or verbal communication with this person, no messages to him through third parties, and no contact order also extends to his place of residence and place of employment. Further, in the event that the client does post bond, he'll be subject to Wayne County Sheriff's GPS tether. Is there anything further? All right, thank you. You're all set, sir. You can step away from the camera.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Not
Thank
finished.
you.
She got about 4 or 5 left.
Okay. Thank you. Madam, we have some more files, so do you have any updates on which ones that you have for matches?
We have Spiller, Taylor,
We have Taylor.
McCoy,
We have McCoy.
Stevenson.
We have Stevenson. There's actually a second defendant, Nicole Reddick.
I'm not ready on the female.
Okay, go ahead.
Jones, but that's the female, I was sorry.
No worries. Is that everything?
Love it.
Okay, we don't have a level file yet. Is that everything, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you see we have some updates on the men's side? We have Stevenson, McCoy, Taylor, and Jones. Desion Jones.
I think Jones is a female, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry, Desion Jones?
Yes, that's a female.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so far on the men's side, we have Stevenson, McCoy, and Taylor ready.
McCoy, pull your mask off now.
Hi, your name, sir?
Darwin McCoy.
Okay, we're on the record. Calling case number 210-56645, People State Michigan versus Darwin McCoy, counsel.
Councilor Shine, on behalf of President McCoy, with formal reading of the constitutional rights and stand.
Court with formal reading into not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There's a Zoom probable cause conference date, April 19, 2021, 8:30 in 36 District Court, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date to be determined in front of Judge Giles and Esteban.
Your Honor, Mr. McCoy is 33 years old. He's a lifelong resident of Detroit. He is employed at Ford Motor and at trucking. He did do some college at Wayne State University. He is on medication and treatment for breast cancer, Your Honor. He does have a 10-year-old child who he has full custody of. I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a personal statement. Your Honor, just for the record, on the complaint, it says that he has felonies from October 28, 2021.
Might be a typo. Okay.
So,
Thank you, ma'am. So noted. Thank you, ma'am. I think the people will have an opportunity to perhaps remedy that at some time in the future. Other than that, is there anything further?
no, thank you.
Okay, thank you. DDC is bond, are there any halts?
Yes, holds, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Council Court takes into account representation, including your client's very significant ties to the community. Also, this is non-assaultive and the pandemic facing the nation. For those reasons, total set bond $1,000, personal bond. Is there anything further?
No, thank you.
Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
Thank you. So that's a personal.
Yeah. Yeah, Taylor's.
Hi, your name, sir?
Will Taylor.
Thank you. Calling case number 210-56643, People State Michigan versus Liddell Tyrone Taylor. Case, counsel.
Mr. Sheriff, on behalf of Mr. Taylor, with formal reading of the standards of the constitutional rights and standards.
Forward the formal reading into not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There's going to be a Zoom probable cause conference date set for April 19, 2021 at 8:30 in the 36th District Court, followed by Zoom clear examination date to be determined in front of Judge Kane in Esteban.
Your Honor, Mr. Taylor is 19 years old, lifelong resident of Detroit. He has no priors to my knowledge. He is a high school grad. He is employed at Meadow Lodge Nursing Home in Farmington. He has 2 kids, ages 2 and 3. He lives with his mother. This is non-assaultive. I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a personal bond.
Thank you. All right, counsel, DDC is bond. Are there any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Council Court takes into account the representations, including your client's significant ties to the community. We're taking into account the pandemic facing the nation, and this is not assaultive reasons. Court will set bond. I'm sorry, madam, you said no holds. Is that correct?
Correct, no holds.
Thank you, ma'am. Court will set bond the amount of $1,000 personal bond and no firearms while this case is pending. Is there anything further?
No consent.
Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
Stand on the block, 34 now.
Junior Douglas Stevenson.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. All right, stand by. Okay, thank you. Calling case number 210-56644, People Say Michigan versus defendant number 1, Junior Douglas Stevenson, counsel.
Dr. Shire, on behalf of Mr. Stevenson, who waived formal reading and understands the constitutional rights and
Forward the formal reading and turn not guilty plea on your client's behalf. It's going to be a Zoom. Probable cause conference date, April 19, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date to be determined at the 36th District Court in front of Judge King in Esteban.
These three reported assault by one resident of Michigan. Snow assaultive prior to criminal conviction is employed to be plumbing, taking kids, four kids, they're on these are not assaulted, I respectfully ask the court to consider it personal harm.
Okay, thank you. DC is bond. Are there any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Counsel court takes into account representations, including your client's significant ties to the community, including gainful employment, also that under the court rules, these are non-assaultive charges, and the court also takes into account the pandemic facing the nation at this time. Although your client does have an habitual offense notice, it appears that there's nothing any more recent than an alleged conviction from 2018. Given those elements, court in this case will set bond the amount of $5,000 personal bond and no firearms while the case is pending. Is there anything further? Okay, you're all set, sir. You can step away from the camera.
Thank you.
Who we have now, Your Honor?
Can hear you.
The CCW, they're going to mechanical for the PCC,
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, DDC and Madam, if you would please let the record reflect that the CCW cases are going to Judge McConico on a special docket. Do you copy, ma'am?
Copy.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Oh, I got, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you. I'll make a note and I'll try to get better on the alternative. Just catch me if you can. I mean, if you see me misstating it, please, yeah, just, throw something and I'll know to, I'll be reminded. Thank you. DDC, do we have Desion Jones available?
That's
Oh, that's on the women's side. Never mind. Never mind. It's on the women's side. Never mind. Okay, women's side, Madam Council, do we have any updates on Hughes, Patton, Linebarger, or Gooden? Okay, DDC, stand by. We're going to see if we have updates on interviews for those 4 people.
Who's been interviewed?
Yeah, he on the second page, right?
That's it? That's what I said. You were telling us we were ready to do
What I told him, I said, sir, I said, we're ready 5 days a week, and we'll see what we can. He goes, okay, well, I want to start low, I don't want to go very low. And I said, that's up to you guys, but you get ready 5 days a week.
What's actually free, so Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. But the thing is, we were anticipating like 25, just, you can't just tell them, look, just send them.
That's what I said, yeah, so he said,
No, because we've got a whole one, because we've got one person dedicated just to do those, so. All right.
So, but they were, well, they were all, and he was ready.
Cool.
First time we
I want to see how you got the whole matching thing, yeah, I see that.
You would know.
Yes.
So it's Sergeant Smith, same guy that always does.
Okay.
So,
Okay, but thank you. Cool, thank you. Okay. Hughes and, what is the name? What is it? Dent? Okay, thank you. Hi, your name, sir?
Marlon Hughes.
Okay, thank you. Call in case number 210-56650, People State Michigan versus Marlon Hughes. Counsel? Formal reading, enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There's going to be a Zoom probable cause conference date set for April 12, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. in front of Judge McConico, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date to be determined in front of Judge Giles and Esteban.
Your Honor, he's 49 years old, lifelong resident of Michigan. No priors to my knowledge, did complete some college. He is retired from the post office and owns a restaurant in Detroit, Pepper Company. He lives with his wife and his autistic child, and he is the guardian for his child, Your Honor, and this is not a fault. So I respect that, I'm going to consider it personal.
Thank you. Counsel, by any chance, what restaurant?
From Detroit Pepper Company, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, Counsel Cortez, and counsel representation, including your client's very significant family and residential ties, as well as ties to the community and his entrepreneurial efforts in the community, which we do appreciate. And also, this is not assault. The court is also taking into account the pandemic facing the nation at this time. Given those elements, court will set by the amount of $1,000 personal bond and no firearms while this case is pending. Is there anything further? Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera. You're all set, so you can step away from the camera. Okay. Let's see, I think the only other thing that we have on the men's side is Glenn Gooden. Do we have an update on Gooden?
I believe.
Okay, thank you.
What about Dunzel, Lovett, and Steve?
Okay, what was the name again? Lovett?
Lovett and Spiller.
Okay, we don't have files for either of those just yet. Madam, you know what? Actually, Madam Clerk just stepped away, so it might be that they're going to get files. So, looks like Lovett and Spiller. Need to do Gooden. Dent. We don't have a file for Dent just yet, but I think Madam Clerk stepped away, so it might be that they're going to be retrieving some additional files. So we'll get you an update as soon as we get our hands on files. Dent. Dent is not on the list, is it? Or is it an AKA?
No, he was the last. They added him again. He was the last one. They sent him.
I added a new one with the last one on it. Sean Dent.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, well, since we have files, the only file that we have for which that's here is Gooden. And that's it. And then I think everything else is on the women's side, and then whatever else extra they bring.
Yeah, Gooden was released on the 20th.
I'm sorry?
Gooden was released on the 20th.
Gooden was released on the 20th. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, in which case we're just waiting for those ones that we've covered. Hello, ma'am. Are you checking in on a case?
Yes.
Who's the name of the person you're checking in on?
I don't know their names. It's for the case for Egypt Covington murder.
Okay, ma'am, it might be that, it depends on what courtroom you're trying to check in on. Be advised that this is courtroom 134. Is there a particular judge or case or courtroom you're supposed to check in on?
I think it was 133.
Okay, well, this is courtroom 134.
Okay, this is in Romulus.
So, sorry? No, ma'am, this is City of Detroit.
I'm so sorry. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, bye-bye.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. Thanks for getting these. Okay, counsel. We do have more files available. We have Raven Llewellyn on the women's side. Also on the men's side, we have Lovett and Lott for files. However, one thing your office is going to want to be prepared is that Mr. Lovett, he capiased in March of this year. So it was earlier this month, and Judge Ronald Giles set a bond. So you might, I don't know if you guys have already done it, or you may need to reach out to Judge Giles' courtroom.
And Your Honor, did turn himself in. We did try to talk to Judge Giles, and still Giles won't change.
I'm sorry?
Judge Giles will not change the bond. We already made contact.
Okay.
But Mr. Lovett did turn himself in. It is a CCW charge, so I don't know if there's anything we can do or that this court can do, but.
Well, no, I mean, if it's the case that you proactively did and the court appreciates you doing that, I mean, we'll address it when we call it. Okay, stand by. Hi, your name, sir?
Donzel Levette.
Okay, calling case number 2006024 Houston, Michigan versus Donzel Laurel Levette, counsel. Full way the formal reading is your not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There's a Zoom probable cause conference date set for April 5, 2010. There's a Zoom probable cause conference date set for April 5, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date April 12, 2021 at 9 o'clock at the 36th District Court, and it will be in front of Judge Giles and as, well, I'm sorry, let's write that. Probable cause conference date set for April 5, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. in front of Judge McConico, followed by a preliminary examination date set for April 12, 2021 at 9 o'clock to the 36th District Court in front of Judge Giles and as the bond man.
Your Honor, 23 years old, lifelong resident of Detroit, has no prior to college, is employed with ATV and contract. Did turn himself in, Your Honor. Does have a one daughter and lives with his parents, so he's got family ties, community ties. So respectfully would ask for a personal bond, Your Honor, but I do understand that this court does not have the authority to change the bond set by Judge Giles. Again, we have made contact, and at this time, Judge Giles.
Thank you. And DDC is the bond. Are there any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel, court takes into account your representations, including your client's significant family residential ties. Also, this is non-assaultive, and also that your client has gainful employment in the community. However, upon review of the file, not only did your client miss his court date back on March of 2021 in front of Judge Giles, this court is reviewing the file. It appears that your client was at least arraigned on this case back in September of 2020, and this court itself, sitting here today, gave him a $1,000 personal bond. He's been missing court dates. He just doesn't come to court.
No, I've only missed
I mean,
one.
was your client?
I've only missed one court.
Well, counsel, I mean, if you wish, your client has an opportunity to address why he failed to appear back in March of this year.
Did you hear the court?
I didn't. I never knew my second court date. I went to the first one on Zoom, and I don't know, was it my connection? But I never actually heard another court date. I have in my phone emails and text messages going to my attorney, trying to figure out when was my next one. The next thing I noticed, people were at my father's house looking for me, and that's when I turned myself in.
All right, well, counsel, be advised and let the record reflect, and just for the record, your office did reach out to Judge Giles' courtroom, is that correct?
Yes.
And what, if anything, is their position regarding the bond at this time? Because when your client failed to appear on March 2nd of this year, Judge Giles issued a capias and set bond the amount of $30,000 cash, and it was set for exam.
And at this point, Judge Giles said he would have changed the bond, as I indicated before. However, Your Honor, I can't speak to exactly what happened in this case, but I do know that we do hear that a lot, that after the first court date, for some reason, there's some miscommunication at some point.
All right, well, counsel, be advised and let the record reflect. Mr. Levette, understand your next court date is April 5. April 5. You understand, sir? And it'll be in front of Judge McConico at this time because Judge Giles has issued the bond. The warrant is set aside, but the bond remains the same at $30,000 cash surety and no firearms while this case is pending. And of course, under the Michigan Court Rules, bond is subject to review at any time. So there will be an opportunity for either your office or his attorney of record to be able to address the bond issue at the next court date. Is there anything further? All right, you're all set, sir. You can step away from the camera. Counsel, be advised, we now have files for Nicholas Lott, Hakeem Spiller, and Sean Dent.
We are ready on all.
DDC, we are ready. Madam Counsel is ready on Lott, Spiller, and Dent. Hi, your name, sir?
Nicholas Lott.
Okay, Mr. Lott, yep, keep that, yep, thank you, sir. That mask over your nose and mouth is for your safety while you're there, sir. Calling case number 210-56649, People Say Michigan versus Nicholas Lott, counsel. Full with formal reading into a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. It's going to be a Zoom probable cause conference date April 19, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom preliminary examination date to be determined at the 36th District Court in front of Judge King and as to bond.
Your Honor, Mr. Lott is 35 years old. He lives with his family here. He has 3 kids, ages 9, 11, and 13. he understands, contact order. Your Honor has no issue with that. Is unemployed at this moment, did do some college, Your Honor. I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a personal bond. Your Honor, these do not reside together. He understands he can make all of his court dates, when he takes care of these matters, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And counsel, just to clarify, the court has an address of record for your client. And again, we're live streaming to YouTube, so we're not looking to publish any personal information. But just to clarify, there is a Costa Mesa address. What state is that in?
And so, Your Honor, he did live in California, but he's been in Michigan since Christmas. He has a 6-month lease, and he came here for his girlfriend who lives here, and he has a job lined up, Your Honor. So he is planning on residing in Michigan. He did provide us with an address in Michigan that I can give to the court off the record, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Because that is going to be important, mainly because, I mean, that's for practical reasons, so that your client can properly receive notices in the mail, as well as his attorney of record will have an opportunity, will be able to be in touch, to be able to expedite and make it more efficient for his attorney to be in contact with him. So if you don't mind, counsel, you're welcome to join us at sidebar, and if you can provide that, we can include that in the file. Okay, all right, here's what the court is going to do. The court is going to waive the formal reading into your not guilty plea on your client's behalf. There's going to be a Zoom probable cause conference date, April 19, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court, followed by a Zoom plenary examination date to be determined, and it's in front of Judge King. And counsel, the court does appreciate you addressing a number of factors, including the client has established ties to the community, including employment, and that he has provided that information to your office. However, again, for practical reasons, the court is going to want to make that a part of the file to ensure that his attorney of record will be able to be in touch with him, and further to ensure that your client does receive his notices and does appear in court for each stage of these proceedings. The only concern is that your client, you've indicated that your client has a 6-month lease. I mean, that suggests a certain degree of transiency in terms of ensuring that your client is going to be here for all stages of the proceedings, because if he has a 6-month lease, that means that he has fewer ties to the community than as indicated.
And Your Honor, it's my understanding that he came here for his girlfriend, looking to build a life in the future here. He has a job lined up, and that is what he first signed for during the pandemic. But my understanding that, Mr. Law, you're planning on, the court is asking about your 6-month lease to establish ties in the community. So what is going on with that?
Yeah, the 6-month lease was just because it was just wanting to get something bigger. I wanted something nice, a little nicer, that was had more rooms. And that's all. That wasn't available at the time, and it was going to become available. So it's better to sign up for the smaller housing unit that I did for the 6-month, and then to be able to get into the larger one after this. Just move right over.
Okay.
Like that's all. That's all that was.
Thank you. All right, and counsel, again, the court's going to, here's what the court is going to do. The court is going to set bond in the amount of $5,000 personal bond. The client is also going to be subject to Wayne County Sheriff's GPS tether. And again, for the reasons stated, the court wants to ensure that your client comes back for all of these hearings, all these court dates, until the judge tells him that he's done with this matter. But he is going to have the personal bond. And also, while this case is pending, no contact with complaining witness Pierre Lavelle Williams. No contact means no written or verbal communication with this person. No messages sent to third parties, and no contact with all citizens in place of residence and place of employment, and no social media contacts directly or indirectly. Is there anything further?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, stand by. All right, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
Thank you.
Sure, step in, stand on the black line, state your full name.
Yes, ma'am. We're going to include that in the file. Stand by, sir.
I can't spell it.
Hi, stand by, sir. Just stay right there.
Yes, Your Honor.
Council, is this for me or do you need this back? We can keep it? Thank you. Where'd you go? Hi, your name, sir?
Hey, Hakeem Malik Speller.
Thank you, sir. And sir, make sure you keep that mask over your nose and mouth, sir. Thank you, sir. It's for your safety while you're there. Calling case number 210-56652. Here's the Michigan versus Hakeem Malik Speller, counsel. Well, with the formal reading, it's not guilty plea on your client's behalf. It's going to be a Zoom proper cause conference date April 19, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. to 36th District Court in front of Judge Mechanico, followed by a Zoom plenary examination date to be determined in front of Judge Giles and Esteban.
20 years old, lifelong resident of Detroit. Did get his GED, no assault, conviction to my knowledge, was with his mother. This is non-assaultive. I respect that, the court should consider a personal law.
Okay, thank you. And DDC is the bond. Are there any holds?
No holds, Your Honor.
Okay. Council Court takes into account representations, including a significant ties to the community, the pandemic facing the nation, and these non-assaultive charges. Given those elements, public set bond in the amount of $2,000 personal bond and no firearms while this case is pending. Is there anything further?
No, thank you.
Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Cover your nose and mouth. Stand on the black line, stay cool, and have a seat on the bench.
Right here.
Have a seat. Stand right there. Black line, stay cool now.
Pull it over your nose.
Sean Dent.
Okay, calling case number 210-44378, People State Michigan versus Sean Dent, counsel.
Mr. Shiloh, we have to sign a statute for reading understanding constitutional rights and
Full way the formal reading and tonight guilty plea on your client's behalf is a Zoom pre-trial date set for April 29, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. at the 36th District Court in front of Judge Bryant and Esteban.
All right, he's 18 years old, lifelong resident of Michigan. Is employed, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm respectfully asking the board to consider a personal bond. Here, I don't have any previous history, and I believe that he will make all his funding to take care of this matter, Your Honor.
Okay, can you see his bond or any hold?
He has a hold, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel Court takes account representations, including that this is a misdemeanor matter, and he does have ties to the community. Given those elements, public set bond the amount of $1,500 personal bond. Is there anything further? Okay, you're all set, so you can step away from the camera. Okay, stand by. DDC, to your knowledge, is that everything on the men's side?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you on the other side, on the women's side shortly. Oh, okay. DDC, I'm sorry. We'll join you on the women's side as soon as possible. We're informed that MIDC, I think, might still be doing interviews, so we will reach out shortly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, court stands in brief recess. About how long, sir, do you think? Okay, it's about 10, 15 minutes. Okay, thank you, sir. All right, court stands in brief recess.